at the Dali Museum in Clearwater, Florida, looking at Salvador Dali's Old Couple or Musician, composed in oil paint, created in 1930. From first glance, I see an old couple gazing into one another's eyes. I see the wrinkled faces, white hair, and patterned clothing in each.
Well, if you observe what the faces consist of, you will see a young man and woman of Mexican descent, in which the man is strumming a guitar. We can determine their ethnic background by the sombreros that they are wearing, the facial features, and the colors that Dali uses to portray them.
Considering Dali's personal life as an influence of the painting, we can assume that the old woman would be Dali's wife, Elena Ivanovna Tikhonova, of whom he married in 1934.
Dali called her Gala, and painted multiple portraits of her. She was his muse and the inspiration of many of his paintings since 1929, the year that they met. Dali was also influenced by other classical artists, including Raphael, Bronzino, and Diego Vasquez.
In terms of the composition that frames the multitude of images that we see, there's a clear bilateral symmetry in which each reflected face consumes one half of the canvas.
You would think that this piece has a more geometric qualities just by looking at it. This instinct is brought on by the fact that the piece is very structured in the way that it is laid out, but in fact the shapes that he uses are quite organic. This is not seen at first since people usually associate organic with whimsical-like configurations. In Dali's approach of formatting, he frames the focal points with the fabric in the dark arches. The upper frame mimics the lower construction in a wave-like form.
This painting also demonstrates consistent verticality throughout. The golden chalice in the center fills the negative space of the outline profiles and leads your eye upwards. At the top looks to be an illuminated chandelier, but can also be seen as a crown. There is a tall bottle of liquor that is half full. The way it's positioned looks as if the old woman is wearing a long earring. The younger woman with the dark hair in the arched doorway is also a vertical feature.
But who is that woman in the archway? If the old woman is his wife, we could assume numerous things. Perhaps he was an old lover, Gala's daughter from her previous marriage, or someone not even included in the story. She may just be a girl walking down the cobblestone streets.
Regardless, the small details are amazing throughout. Beyond the man with the guitar is a fairly painted cityscape, highlighted in familiar colors with the white wall. Continuing with these tiny details, he uses a variety of small icons. We see the golden chalice replicated in the fabric of the old man's shirt, along with the print of ducklings that can also be seen as rabbits.
Looking more closely at the sides of the old couple's faces, the old woman's hair is like a curtain, a blockade into her imagination. The old man's, on the other hand, is an open invitation. We see the arched doorway slightly blocked, but still available for admission.
Honestly, I feel like we can assume whatever we want. Dali was interested in the brain's ability to skew the associated links one creates from images to representation.
So, essentially, we can assess that the representations we infer are false according to the artist's original intent. Our connections have nothing to do with Dali's visions, his dreams, his passions. The basic images he uses, human interactions, city scenes, as well as known objects, are easily relatable. It's the story behind the thought process that requires a vivid analysis.